So this wannabe globe superstar is at it again. This time though, this young lady's trying to prove that tower cranes can be dead still and plumb whilst on a spinning, wobbling, oscillating cannonball, one that's doing ludicrous speeds in all different directions. So let's see what this wannabe globe superstar has got for us today.
Frame of reference. That's all you have to know.
Oh, fantastic. Does that mean you're going to cite a travelling frame of reference, one that's got a pendulum on it, that's not only travelling, but is plumb and dead still? I.e. a scientific demonstration that backs the claims. Let's have a look.
It's not that hard to understand. You
Oh right, it's not that hard to understand, but you've got no scientific demonstrations whatsoever. Oh dear.
won't be able to feel a motion when it is moving at a constant speed.
My dear, there's nothing constant about a spinning, wobbling, oscillating cannonball, one that's corkscrewing around the sun, doing ludicrous speeds in different directions. There's nothing constant about that. Please wake up. And you can't even display a pendulum travelling in a linear fashion in a constant speed, one that's plumb and dead still, yet alone all the other ludicrous speeds in different directions. Are you feeling okay, young lady?
It's not that hard to understand.
It's not that hard to understand. We all understand the silly globe stories and the sophist argumentation that is put forward. It would seem it's you who's struggling to understand the claims and provide demonstrable science. Do you struggle with reality, my dear? Because this so-called debunk of yours would suggest you don't have a Scooby-Doo about reality. Reality, guess what? It's not that hard to understand. It can be demonstrated by everyone. Oh dear.
And they always come with the example.
Oh, I was on a train once, or I was on a plane once, and I walked, and I could feel it.
Because
I have no idea what that was about, but I've never seen a citation of a pendulum on a train or a plane, one that's 2 meters long, that's plumb and dead still. This is my whole point, my dear. This just seems like this is all about you and your supposed rise to global stardom, when really it's just a big expose on your delusions. Oh dear.
it was accelerating or decelerating, I think. Ask a friend to drive in a car when you have a, how's it called in German? It's a tempomat. And then try to throw a ball just next to you. Not when you're driving, you're on shotgun. But you would see that the ball isn't flying up and then smashing in the back of the car. It's not that hard, and you can...
It's not that hard, but you can't cite one single demonstration involving a pendulum. I'm a tower crane operator, my dear. I don't operate tennis balls in the back of people's cars. I operate gigantic tower cranes, hundreds, in some cases that can be up to over 1,000 feet tall. That's my whole point. There's not one single scientific demonstration on Earth to suggest that tower cranes or any pendulum could be plumb and dead still whilst doing ludicrous speeds in all sorts of different directions. You guys can't even cite a pendulum travelling in a linear fashion at slower speeds, one that's dead still and plumb, yet alone try and recreate your daft model of spinning and wobbling and oscillating. Dear oh dear, this is terrible. You keep saying it's not that difficult, but you struggle with the fundamentals of reality, my dear. I do not operate a ball in the back of someone's car. I operate tower cranes for a living. So for your car demo to have any kind of relevance, it would have needed a pendulum in it, one that's quite tall, whilst you're travelling, one that's dead still and plumb. You see the problem, my dear? You're not even smart enough to work out the failings of your argumentation and the very thing you stand by, the globe. You put aside what is demonstrably true, i.e. reality, in favour of delusions. I'm sure you want to be some kind of YouTube star and a bit glamorous and this and that. If you're going to represent the globe, you've got all the skill set you already require. Delusions, sophistry and absolutely zero, and I mean zero, demonstrable science to refute people like myself who stand by the things that can be demonstrated and verified by every single individual on Earth, yourself included. For you to prove that tower cranes can be dead still on a spinning, wobbling, oscillating cannonball would require a practical reference involving a pendulum, one that's at least 2 meters tall. And that is my whole point in the first place. No such scientific demonstration exists on Earth. Why? Because the globe is scientifically impossible. You've just proven that yourself off the back of Simon Dan proving that last week. And this is all these people have to offer up. Delusions. Morons. Wanting to be famous. But all they've got is literally sophist argumentation and a wanting to be famous. You are famous, my dear. You're going to be well known from now on as the girl that thinks reality is exactly the opposite to what can be demonstrated. Dear, oh dear, oh dear.